Hello and welcome to Latino Marin. I'm Vita Flores, your host. Today we have a special guest. It's a candidate for the Superior Court judge race in Marin County. The election is June the 7th. Beth Jordan is here for a special half-hour interview. Thank you, Beth, for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me, Vita.
Let's start today with a little learning experience. Tell us about the divisions of court and what the viewers will be voting on.
Okay, that's a good idea. The Superior Court is the county court. There's a Superior Court in each county of the state, and that is basically the trial court. Anybody who files a lawsuit, that's where it goes to. That's where it gets assigned to a particular judge in the different departments. There's the civil, the criminal, the family law department, the estates department. And depending upon the type of case, it gets filed with a particular judge, and that judge becomes responsible for those cases.
Talk a little bit about your relative work experience.
I have been practicing law for 30 years. I spent my first 15 years working in the city, primarily doing complex civil litigation cases, including some toxic tort, environmental, pharmaceutical product liability cases. I handled a wide range of cases, from those involving individual plaintiffs and defendants to those involving multiple parties and even class actions. Mm-hmm. I've represented plaintiffs, I've represented defendants, I've tried cases. Mm-hmm. So, and then from there, when my firm disbanded, and that's kind of a long story, but when the firm disbanded, at the time, my son, who was 6, his dad had been killed in an accident. And I decided at that point, because he was starting school, it would be better for me to not go and continue to work in the city and commute and start a new practice. So I came out to Marin. I'd been living here I've lived here for 26 years, and opened a practice on my own. And decided I would do family law. I had known one practitioner, a family law practitioner, Clay Green, who's very well regarded and very well known, and he mentored me, and I learned a whole new area of the law, and which was quite an undertaking. In fact, when I opened my office, I was so nervous that I wouldn't actually even sign a lease. I had a month-to-month tenancy. But within a couple of years, I was actually moved over to be closer to Clay, and we became partners. And now we have 2 other partners and have one of the premier family law firms in San Rafael. So I have a very wide background. I'm also a certified family law specialist.
Oh. Talk to us about your educational background. Where did you go to school?
Actually, I worked my way through college. I didn't have the resources to do otherwise. My dad had passed away when I was fairly young. So I started school at night. I worked full time. I went at night. I started in New York, and I came out after a year or so and went to UCLA. And I graduated from UCLA summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, and with all the honors that I could possibly get. It took me a little longer to get through. It was a 6-year journey instead of 4, but it was a wonderful experience. And then I went to law school at UC Berkeley.
Mm-hmm. Have you always practiced in California?
I have.
Mm-hmm. Are you on any local boards and commissions? Or have you participated or volunteered in the community?
Oh, I have long been committed to the Marin community. In terms of the legal aspects of it, I served as president of the Marin County Bar Association in 2010, and that followed, altogether there were about 6 years of service as secretary, treasurer, and officers and director. And I am presently serving on the Family Law Advisory Commission to the Board of Legal Specialization of the State Bar. So that takes a fair amount of time. We get to write the exams for the specialists and to review the exams and grade them. And that's a wonderful opportunity and a great thing to be involved in. I also, in the wider community, I served on the board of trustees for the Marin School, which is a private school, for 6 years. And I also served on the Tiburon Belvedere Child Care Center. I also, just as an aside, I regularly volunteer for settlement panels up at the courthouse, both family law and their interdisciplinary settlement conferences, which are custody-related cases. And in the past, I've routinely volunteered when available for the Pro-Per calendar. I've done work with Legal Aid of Marin, their advice clinics, and I think that probably covers it.
You have been involved in the community
I
and a
have.
great resource.
I have.
So thank you very much for your commitment. So what unique qualifications do you have for this judgeship?
Well, I think that I have what Dick Spotswood termed professional and personal diversity. I don't know if you saw, he wrote an article several weeks ago about the open seat on the bench and what people should be looking for. And I think I have both of those things. I think I have the professional diversity in terms of my practice of civil litigation and trial work and family law matters. The majority of cases that are filed in the Marin Court are family law or civil cases. So I think that's particularly pertinent. And I think that I have the personal diversity. I'm a woman. I think we need women on the bench. And I've also, I think that we're all a composite of our life experiences. And I have, I've been a single mom, I've been divorced, I've been an attorney, I'm a business owner, and I think that I have a lot of different perspectives. I get to see a lot of different things. I've worked with a wide array of people, particularly in family law, which is such a personal relationship with clients, where people are really in some of the most difficult times of their lives. And I feel like I've served that community really well. And it's always a thrill to, you can have cases that are really difficult and then they end and you get a letter that says, thank you, I'm not afraid anymore, or something like that is really, really moving. So having worked with all kinds of different people, I think that's a good quality an essential quality for a judge. In fact, over the years, I have earned the respect of, hundreds of clients and judges, opposing counsel, and colleagues. And I think that says a lot.
What professional organizations are you a member of?
Well, I'm a member of the Marin County Bar Association. I'm a member of the State Bar Association, and I'm a member of the Association of Certified Family Law Specialists.
We're early in the election, and I'm wondering if you have any endorsements that you'd like to share.
Well, actually, I'm getting more endorsements all the time, and I was particularly honored this week to be endorsed by Judge Verna Adams at the Superior Court, as well as by Gary Ragianti. I don't know if you know Gary, but almost everybody does. He's one of the most well-regarded and outstanding attorneys and community leaders in the area. And Judge Adams is just an outstanding judge, also very well-regarded. And I'm just humbled and honored that they have chosen to endorse me.
Oh, okay.
I also have endorsements from a number of past presidents of the Bar Association, as well as a number of attorneys who are on the board of Legal Aid of Marin. And actually on my website, I will be posting those this weekend, so they'll be available.
Can you tell me why voters should take the time and watch the interviews and decide the best candidate for our Superior Court?
Well, I think this is one of those rare opportunities where the voters really get to have a say in what judge gets to sit on the court. More often than not, the judges are appointed, and although judges are always up for re-election, generally there isn't a lot of discussion about that, and if somebody has served well, they're confirmed. But this is a unique opportunity where people can really have a voice and feel that they've made a difference in who they're choosing.
What are two key aspects that voters should be looking at when they choose a Superior Court judge?
Well, one again, I think, is the professional and personal diversity that we talked about. I think that's really essential. I think that there's more than two, by the way, but I think that they want and need somebody who is obviously able to be fair and impartial and treats everyone with respect. But even more than that, I think you want somebody who has a demonstrated commitment to the law, has a demonstrated commitment to doing the types of things that a judge needs to do, to hard work. I've never been afraid of hard work. As I mentioned, I worked my way through college. I opened my own practice. I was a single mom for a while. I like challenges, and I think that's important too.
How does a voter identify those characteristics?
Well, I think that one of the ways you do that is by looking at the endorsements, people who have endorsed you, and also to look at the history. You know, again, I have been involved in the legal community heavily for years since I've been out here. I mean, I was also involved in the city, but the most pertinent is here in Marin County. I live here. As I mentioned, I've lived here for 26 years. I own a business, a small business in the county. I raised my son here. Actually, I've got three. We have a blended family, so I've got three boys. The youngest of whom has just finished college and is now in music production school. So that frees up some of my time, which makes this a good answer to why now would I want to be a judge.
Yes, and the Latino community is all about family and extended family, and thank you for sharing that little piece. So I'm wondering if you wouldn't share more information about your family.
Oh, sure.
Your family background.
My wonderful husband, Andy, is my best supporter, and we've been married for 8.5 years and together for about 12. And Andy had two boys, Gabe and Zach. And they are older, but Alex loved having older brothers when we combined our family. And Gabe is now back in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and he's working for a research organization and is now going to go to graduate school in public health. He's been very, very devoted to his community and to serving people who are in need of medical care, and Gabe is just a whiz. Zach is up in Portland, and he's also going back to school. He's exploring getting a degree in physical therapy. And again, my youngest son, Alex, is at music production school, so he's doing that electronic music and he's having a ball.
What cultural heritage do you come from?
Well, I grew up in New York, and I'm American way back. I think my great-great-great-grandparents came from, one set from Germany, the other from Ireland. But I lived in New York until I came out here to go to school. And I love New York. I love going back. My heart just beats a little bit faster when I'm there, but I wouldn't want to live there. And I like practicing law out here. So,
how long have you been here in Marin County?
Actually, when I moved out here was right after the earthquake, the Loma Prieta earthquake.
In 89?
Yes.
1989?
Yes.
Oh. On clear footing here in Marin County.
Absolutely, bedrock.
The Latino community is unique, and how do you feel that you can best serve the Latino community if you were elected to judge?
Well, I think that, like every other community, the most important thing is to provide access to everyone at the courthouse, and to make decisions as a judge that are completely impartial and fair. You know, as judges in the Superior Court, you don't get to make the law. You enforce the law and you apply the law to the facts at hand.
And can you tell us a little bit more about your unique qualifications to this position?
Well, I think I've discussed the professional diversity, my hard work, my demonstrated commitment, my excellent academic record, my ability to work with people, and you know, I've always strived to be the best at whatever I could be, and that's why I became a certified family law specialist, and that's why I went to the firm that I did. And so I think those are all unique qualifications. And my experience, again, is, you know, I've tried cases. I know what litigants and attorneys need from a judge.
And do you think it's necessary to have experience in all 4 divisions?
I don't. Again, you know, most of the cases that we have coming in to the court or here in this county are family law and civil cases, and that is the forte of my experience.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell the viewers before we conclude?
Just that they can reach me if they'd like to. My number is 415-485-9290, and my website is at www.jordanforjudge.com.
jordanforjudge.com.
Right.
And how about Facebook or Twitter?
I'm on Facebook and Twitter. You can get those links through my website.
Okay.
I'm not good with those, so.
Okay, fine. Make sure and look for Latino Marin on Facebook, and you can follow us at Latino Marin 360. So I hope that we can set up a connection and network in the future.
That would be terrific.
Thank you very much for joining me today. And a couple key dates that I want to remind you of. On May 23rd, that's the last day to register to vote, and the election is June the 7th. Latino Marin weaves the Latino experience into the fabric of Marin County. We are advocating and educating our Latino community. We're also donating laptops to students. Our goal for next year is to donate 500 computers. If you have a gently used laptop with a newer operating system, please contact Latino Marin at latinomarin360@gmail.com. We also have a sister website called Voto Marin. You'll find PowerPoint presentations, what's on your ballot, dedicated information about Latinos voting in the United States, California, and Marin County. Thank you very much for joining us, and please visit our website, latinomarin.org, votomarin.org. Follow our Twitter feed at Latino Marin 360.